Hi, so my name is Prerak Sharma. I am 21 years old and I am first year MBA Data Science and AI student at IIT Mandi. Why you should watch this video, it's totally your call. I am on this challenge of speaking for 20 minutes daily in front of the camera so that I can improve my communication skills over the next 2 years. And how I do it by reading books or speaking on any topic straight out of my mind for 20 minutes. Nowadays I have taken the challenge, or you can say this, you can call it a challenge of reading Bhagavad Gita. I have reduced the text that I read of Bhagavad Gita and currently I'm in chapter 3. I have given this challenge to myself to complete 3 chapters. So without further delay, let's begin. I'll start from text 10. I am outside and I'm speaking slow because we have a exam tomorrow, and considering the room dynamics I need some space, so I have come out and accordingly I am doing it. So text 10, Saha Yajnaha Prajaha Srishta Purovaj Prajapati Anen Prasavishyadhomish. So I like the dynamics. One of my friends came and asked me what just happened, why I am sitting outside. But yeah, let's continue. Saha yajna praja srishta purovaj prajapati anen prasavishyadhomesh vostivashta kamdhuk. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be thou be happy." By this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you all desirable things, the material creation by the Lord of creatures is a chance offered to the conditioned souls to come back home, back to the Godhead. All living entities within the material creation are conditioned by material nature because of their forgetfulness of their relationship to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedic principles are to help us understand this eternal relation as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedya sa sarvair aham eva vedya. The Lord says that the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Him. In the Vedic hymns it is said, Patim Vasyatmeswaram. Therefore, the Lord of the living entities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Srila Sukadeva Goswami describes the Lord as Pati in so many ways. Shriya Patir Yajnam, Pati Prajapatir, Dhiyam Patir Loka Patir Dharapate, Patir Gati Sandaka Vrishni Satvatam, Prasidatam Me Bhagwan Satampati. The Prajapati is Lord Vishnu, and he is the Lord of all living creatures, all worlds and all beauties, and the protector of everyone. The Lord created this material world for the conditioned souls to learn how to perform yajna, sacrifice for the satisfaction of Vishnu, so that while in the material world they can live very comfortably without anxiety. Then after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. That is the whole program for the conditioned souls. By performance of yajna, the conditioned souls gradually become Krishna conscious and become godly in all respects. In this age of Kali, the Sankirtana yajna, the chanting of the names of God, is recommended by the Vedic scriptures, and this transcendental system was introduced by Lord Chaitanya for the deliverance of all men in this age. Sankirtana yajna and Krishna consciousness go well together. Lord Krishna in his devotional form as Lord Chaitanya is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam as follows, with special reference to the Sankirtana yajna. Krishna Varnam Tvisat Krishnam Sangopangastra Prasadam Yajna Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. In this age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of Sankirtana yajna. Other yajnas prescribed in the Vedic literature are not easy to perform in this age of Kali, but the Sankirtana yajna is easy and sublime for all purposes. Devan Bhav Yatanen ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परं वाप्स्यत्. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, thus nourishing one another. There will reign general prosperity for all. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs. The supply of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity are entrusted to the demigods, who are innumerable assistants in the different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yajnas of the human beings. Some of the yajnas are meant to satisfy particular demigods, but even in so doing, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in all yajnas. The chief beneficiary. It is stated also in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna himself is the beneficiary of all kinds of yajnas. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of the yajnapati is the chief purpose of all yajnas. When these yajnas are performed, naturally the demigods in charge of the different departments of supply are pleased, and there is no scarcity in the supply of natural products. Performance of yajnas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from the material bondage. By performance of yajnas, all activities become purified, as it is stated in the Vedas. Ahara suddho, sattva suddhi, sattva suddho, dhruva smriti lambe, sarva granthinam vipramuksa. As it will be explained in the following verse, by performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence become purified. By the purification of existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified, and when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation, and all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, the great necessity of present-day society. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yakya bhavidah tairdatan pradayebhyo yo bhunke sten evasaha. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, supply all necessities to man. But he who enjoys these gifts without offering them to the demigods in returns is certainly a thief. The demigods are authorized supplying agents on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Therefore, they must be satisfied by the performance of prescribed yajnas. In the Vedas, there are different kinds of yajnas prescribed for different kinds of demigods, but all are ultimately offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For one who cannot understand what the Personality of Godhead is, sacrifice to the demigods is recommended. According to the different material qualities of the persons concerned, different types of yajnas are recommended in the Vedas. Worship of different demigods is also on the same basis, namely according to different qualities. For example, the meat eaters are recommended to worship the goddess Kali, the ghastly form of material nature, and before the goddess, the sacrifice of animals is recommended. But for those who are in the mood of goodness, the transcendental worship of Vishnu is recommended. But ultimately, all yajnas are meant for gradual promotion to the transcendental position. For ordinary men, at least 5 yajnas known as Panch Mahayajna are necessary. One should know, however, that all the necessities of life that the human society requires are supplied by the demigod agents of the Lord. No one can manufacture anything. Take, for example, all the eatables of human society. These eatables include grains, fruits, vegetables, milk, sugar, etc. for the persons in the mode of goodness, and also eatables for the non-vegetarians like meat, etc., none of which can be manufactured by men. Then again, take for example heat, light, water, air, etc., which are also necessities of life. None of them can be manufactured by the human society. Without the Supreme Lord, there can be no profuse sunlight, moonlight, rainfall, breeze, etc., without which no one can live. Obviously, our life is dependent on supplies from the Lord, even for our relationship. Manufacturing enterprises, we require so many raw materials like metal, sulfur, mercury, manganese, and so many essentials, all of which are supplied by the agents of the Lord, with the purpose that we should make proper use of them to keep ourselves fit and healthy for the purpose of self-realization, leading to the ultimate goal of life, namely liberation from the material struggle for existence. This aim of life is attained by performance of yajnas. If we forget the purpose of human life and simply take supplies from the agents of the Lord for sense gratification and become more and more entangled in material existence, which is not the purpose of creation. Certainly we become thieves, and therefore we are punished by the laws of material nature. A society of thieves can never be happy because they have no aim in life. The gross materialist thieves have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to sense gratification, nor do they have knowledge of how to perform yajnas. Lord Chaitanya, however, inaugurated the easiest performance of yajna, namely the Sankirtana yajna, which can be performed by anyone in the world who accepts the principles of Krishna consciousness. So all the living materials that are needed for life, air, water, magnesium, zinc, iron, all of these are not provided by anyone. We get this. Anyways, we get this, and we cannot even produce this. We think that we are the producers of grains, we are the producers of this and that, but technically we are not producing anything. We are just the consumers, and the necessary living things that are required for life cannot be produced by us. We cannot produce magnesium, we cannot produce zinc, we cannot produce air, light, anything. Sunlight, moonlight, everything that is around us is given, offered to us by the Supreme Lord, and the demigods are there which provide us with surplus of everything. And we cannot entangle ourselves and be lost in this life by thinking that we are the ones who are supplying these. So we have to perform yajnas to satisfy these demigods, and to satisfy these demigods means the surplus of everything. यज्ञ शिष्टाशिनः संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्व किलीपशेः पुजते ते दत्यं पापा. So again, one of my friends came to ask. So without wasting another time, let's utilize it and another 10 minutes. यज्ञ शिष्टाशिनः संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्व किलीपशेः पुजते ते तद्यं पापाय achantyaatmakaranaat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Prepare food for personal sense enjoyment, verily eat only sin. The devotees of the Supreme Lord, or the persons who are in Krishna consciousness, are called santas, and they are always in love with the Lord, as it is described in the Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sudaiva hridayasu vilokaya. Again, one of my friends asked, I feel great when people actually care, so that's the thing. It felt nice. So, let's continue. The devotees of the Supreme Lord, or the persons who are in Krishna consciousness, are called santas, and they are always in love with the Lord, as it is described in the Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva. I am getting so much marketing which I don't need, but yeah, let's continue. 5 more minutes. The santas, being always in a compact of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda or Mukunda or Krishna, cannot accept anything without first offering it to the Supreme Person. Therefore, such devotees always perform yajnas in different modes of devotional service, such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, etc. And these performances of yajnas keep them always aloof from all kinds of contamination of sinful association in the material world. Others who prepare food for self or sense gratification are not only thieves, but are also the eaters of all kinds of sins. How can a person be happy if he is both a thief and sinful? It is not possible. Therefore, in order for people to become happy in all respects, they must be taught to perform the easy process of Sankirtana Yajna in full Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there can be no peace or happiness in the world. Anna dbhavanti bhutani parchanyat na sambhava yagyat davati parchanyo yagya karma samudbhava All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rain. Rains are produced by performance of yajna sacrifice, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. Shri Baladeva Vidya Bhushana, a great commentator on the Bhagavad Gita, writes as follows: Ye Indraya Indradi Anga Taya Vastitam Yajnam Sarveswaram Vishnum Abhyarasya Tachesam Asnanti Tena Tadeha Yantram Sampadyanti Te Santa Sarveswarasya Bhakta Sarva Kilvisair Anadi Kal Vivridher Atmanu Bhava Prati Bandhaker Nikhile Paper Vimusyanti. The Supreme Lord, who is known as the Yajna Purusa, or the Supreme Beneficiary of all sacrifices, is the master of all demigods who serve him as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. Demigods like Indra, Sandra, Varuna, etc. are appointed officers who manage material affairs, and the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light, water, and water sufficiently to produce food grains. Direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light, and water. So I'm back inside. Let's read some stuff and end this for today. Demigods like Indra, Sandra, Varuna, etc. are appointed officers who manage material affairs, and the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light, and water sufficiently to produce food grains. When Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods, who are different limbs of the Lord, are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. For this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. By such action, not only are past sinful reactions in the body vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of material nature. When there is an epidemic disease, an antiseptic vaccine protects a person from the attack of such an epidemic. Similarly, food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection, and one who is accustomed to this practice is called a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness who eats only food offered to Krishna can counteract all reactions of past material infection, which are impediments to the progress of self-realization. On the other hand, one who does not do so continues to increase the volume of sinful action, and this prepares the next body to resemble hogs and dogs, to suffer the resultant reactions of all sins. The material world is full of contaminations, and one who is immunized by accepting prasadam of the Lord is saved from the attack, whereas one who does not do so becomes subjected to contamination. Food grains or vegetables are factually eatables. Food grains or vegetables are factually eatables. The human beings eats different kind of food grains, vegetables, fruits, etc., and the animals eat the refuse of the food grains and vegetable, grass, plants, etc. Human beings who are accustomed to eating meat and flesh must also depend on the production of vegetation in order to eat the animals. Therefore, ultimately, we have to depend on the production of the field and not on the production of big factories. The field production is due to sufficient rain from the sky, and such rains are controlled by demigods like Indra, Sun, Moon, etc., and they are all servants of the Lord. The Lord can be satisfied by sacrifices. Therefore, one who cannot perform them well find himself in scarcity. That is the law of nature. Yajna, specifically the Sankirtana Yajna, prescribed for this age, must therefore be performed to save us at least from scarcity of food and supply. So the last few 5-7 minutes I will do talk myself. It was great. The only friends that you have are discipline and consistency. This is what I believe in. If you have discipline and consistency, you will get rewarded at one point in your life for sure. This is how nature works. This is the law of nature. And that is what I believe in, and that is what I preach, that is what I do. Be disciplined and consistent. If you have started something, do it no matter what. Even if there were some extreme condition, that is another case, then also you should do it. But I have a habit now that if one day I have to skip somehow, I can continue from the next day also. It's not like I leave it. The 2 days, only 2 days which I have skipped were probably Janmashtami. One day was Janmashtami and the other day I can't remember was the batch mixer. Otherwise I do this activity daily. I make videos daily. I kind of upload on social media daily. That is the discipline which I have. That is the sacrifice which I am making. Tomorrow I have a Python test, so after this I will be studying for my Python test. Today I also spoke on an extempore. It was like a new thing for me, but it helped me. Probably I learned one new thing today, that whatever you speak in front of so many people, you have to be extremely sure of what you are speaking about. The topic that you have begun, you need to have thorough knowledge about it, because the audience can ask anything. And I was also asked something, but due to time constraint, that question got avoided somehow. But yeah, that's the issue. Questions won't be avoided every time, and you have to address the question. The person was asking the question nicely. You can't just make his question fall off that no, I'll answer it after the class. Give him a little thing to hang on. Give him a little hint that can be followed up when we further meet. So this is one learning that I got, and you can get help from the peers that you have. This is what I am working on right now. 2 or 3 more things I have in mind, but let's leave that for some other day. I believe that's it for today, and it's your call. It's totally your call. If you want to like, you can. If you have any insights to put, there is the comment section below. If you want to personally connect with me, if you have something to tell me, my links to the personal accounts, my Instagrams, Twitter and LinkedIn are attached in description below. Do check them out. Till then, bye. We'll meet tomorrow again. I upload these videos daily. Bye. Signing off, Prerak Sharma. Subscribe.